Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do this berry stitch. It's like a fake bobble stitch and it's done with a UK double crochet and a UK, look at this stitch, triple treble stitch. It's not a bundle of stitches like your traditional bobble stitch, but it does make this beautiful bobble so much easier for beginners, so much easier for everybody. It really crochets up quickly, and I'm going to show you how to do this one in straight lines. I will do another video on how to stagger it so it looks like this. I've got two projects on the go at the same time. So this is the berry stitch staggered. On this one you need an odd number of stitches, but on this one you need an even number. I've used 60 stitches in mine. It is straight, it's just the way I've got it sitting there. I've used 60 stitches on mine, but on my foundation chain I put 61 stitches. So you do your foundation chain to the length that you want it. Make sure it's an even number and then add one more. But the one more gets used on that very first stitch here. You go into the second chain and it creates your first stitch. So you will have an even number left because that extra one is used on the side here to make your very first stitch. So you'd need an even number for this one. You can have this up and down the way as well. When you make it, you can actually make the length you need and then crochet to the width that you want. It doesn't make any difference with this. This is a beautiful yarn. This is what the back looks like. Don't worry about the corner curling in. It straightens out as you work. And once you're finished, just spray it with water and put it onto a dry towel and stick a pin in, and that'll hold your corners down so they won't curl, and then just let it dry. To finish the blanket, I finished on a double crochet row. So much quicker, so much easier for beginners, quicker for everybody actually. This crocheted up, I did this in about an hour, and look at that, it is really pretty. This is what the back looks like. I've showed you the back. It's nice and flat and it's only a 2-row repeat. When you finish your blanket, you finish on a double crochet row. I'm going to show you how to do this berry stitch really quickly. It doesn't take long at all. So I'm going to show you the sample of the berries running in a straight line with this Knitting Essentials yarn. You get it from a shop that's called Pound Stretchers, and I think it's $1.99 for 3. You get 3 of these 50-gram balls. It's 100% acrylic. This one is called Pastel Grey. There's no number on it, it's just called Pastel Grey. It's a double knitting yarn. It's really nice, it really crochets up nice. It's really soft as well for being a budget yarn. It's really soft and it's a lovely silver grey. So I'm going to do a slip knot. If you can't do a slip knot, if you're a beginner and you can't do a slip knot, just tie your yarn on to your hook like that. Just tie it on. Put your yarn over and pull it through. Now just pull it up a little bit because that first little stitch will disappear. So that's you got it on your hook. So you're going to need an even number of stitches for this. Do your chain the length that you need it. Use a measuring tape if you have to and measure your chain to the length that you want it. I'm going to do a sample. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Don't do your foundation chain too tight. If you do it too tight, it'll arch up the way and the bottom of your blanket will be tighter than the rest of it. So I think that was 10, 13, 14, 15, 16. So into your second stitch, I'll bring this down. So into the second stitch in your chain, you're going to do what's called a UK double crochet. If you're in the USA, this is a single crochet for you. So it's a UK double crochet. Into that second stitch, push your hook right through, pull your yarn through. You've got 2 loops on your hook. So yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. You're going to do that all the way to the end. So I'm going to do 1 double crochet into every stitch. So I've done 1 UK double crochet. Now this is the right side of your blanket. You're going to chain 1 and turn. You're going to put a double crochet into that very first stitch. That chain 1 is not a stitch. So go right into that very first stitch there and do a double crochet. You'll do a double crochet into the second stitch. Now into the third stitch we're going to do the berry stitch. Now the berry stitch is 3 times around your yarn. It's like a little fake bobble stitch. 1, 2 and 3. So 3 times around your yarn and go into the next stitch and pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Right up until we get to the end, we're going to do 1 berry stitch, 1 double crochet, 1 berry stitch, 1 double crochet, 1 berry stitch and 1 double crochet. So straight into the next stitch and do a UK double crochet. Now what it does is it pulls that big stitch into a bobble or a berry or a little bundle like that. So into the next stitch, wrap your yarn 3 times around your hook so it looks like you've got 4 loops on your hook. Right through the stitch and pull through. Yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over, come through 2 loops and once again yarn over and through those 2 loops. Into the next stitch, UK double crochet. 1, 2, 3 times around your hook and into the next stitch. And we're going to make another little berry stitch. Double crochet into the next stitch and that's going to pull that one down. 1, 2, 3 and into the next stitch all the way to the end. Double crochet into the next stitch and then do your berry stitch 3 times around your hook and pull through the next stitch. Then double crochet into the next stitch all the way along. 1, 2, 3 into the stitch. Double crochet into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3 and into the next stitch. So I've got 3 stitches left at the end. I'm going to do my berry stitch into the next one, and then the last 2 are going to be a double crochet into each of those stitches. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Remember that chain 1 is not a stitch, and this is what you get these little bobbly berries. Into the very first stitch, these are the 2 rows you're going to repeat, this berry row and the very next row is 1 full row of double crochets. So you're going to do 1 double crochet into every stitch. So right into that beginning there, you're going to do a double crochet. 1 into the next stitch. Your next stitch is kind of down beside the bobble there. That's 2. And then your next stitch, you give it a little turn and you can see that, just go into that space there and that'll let you catch that stitch at the top of the berry. Into the next stitch then there'll be one at the top of the berry, and that's what you'll do all the way along. These are the 2 rows that you'll keep repeating. And if any of your berries are popped to that side, just push them back. That's the back of your blanket. So when you're on the front where the berries are, you'll be doing 1 row of double crochet. And when you're on the back, that's when you'll do your berry stitch, and it pushes the berry to the front. So 1 into every stitch. You just might have to just give it a little turn. Don't go through that hole there. Make sure you give it a little turn, because it's these 2 stitches here that you need. It's these 2 parts of the stitch here. Don't go through that hole, because you'll end up with 3 strands on your hook. You've got 3 here. You don't want the 3. You want to turn it and catch just those 2. That V stitch that's on the top, the V part. So in there, just give it a little turn. So you're going through the space to catch the 2. The sort of top space, not that front space. You're going through there. Just kind of turn it, just a little turn to catch the one on top of your berry stitch. All the way along. I'm at the end and I'm doing my last double crochet. So that's your 2 rows done for your 2 row repeat. So now you'll chain 1 and turn. Now you're on the back, so we're going to do the berry stitch again, and it's really simple. 2 double crochets and then a berry stitch. So to begin with, we're doing 2, so we get a nice edge. So right into that very first space, double crochet into the next stitch, and that's you got your little edge done down the side of your blanket. So into the next stitch, you're going to do the berry stitch 3 times around your hook. So you've got 4 loops. Into the stitch and pull through. Yarn over, through 2 loops. Yarn over, through 2 loops. Through 2 loops. And over, through 2 loops. Double crochet into the next stitch. And that's you made your little berry. And you've got it running right on top of the other one. So berry stitch next, into the next stitch. You'll do that all the way along to the end, and you'll do 2 double crochets at the end. So it's a berry stitch and a double crochet, a berry stitch, a double crochet, all the way to the last 2 stitches, and you'll do a berry stitch and then 2 double crochets at the end of the row. So I've done my last berry stitch on this row, and I'm finishing with 2 double crochet. This is so easy when you're doing the berry stitch in straight lines. So you're chaining 1 and turning, and if it pops to that side, then just pop it back out, and that one as well. Because when you do your double crochet row, your double crochet row is just, I've done my chain 1, I've done my chain 1 and turn. So you're doing 1, when you're on the berry side, you're doing 1 double crochet into every stitch. Just remember and tilt it around to catch that one that's bent over where the berry is. And that's the 2 rows you'll keep repeating. Just 1 double crochet into every stitch. And what that'll do, it'll keep your little berries all in a straight line. So I've changed my background so you can see this a little bit better with it being a grey yarn. Look at that, you get it nice and straight lines with this little berry stitch. Just those 2 simple rows will give you your berry stitch in a nice straight up and down line. So that is how you do this little berry stitch. It's kind of like a little cheats way of doing a puff stitch. It's really pretty. You can use this stitch for lots of different things. Once you get a little bit more accomplished, you can put more stitches in between the berries. You can even stagger them yourself into little shapes, and you can do it as little circles, you can do them as little squares, just miss those ones out. So you can make lots of different little patterns using this little berry stitch, and it's really simple and it's really easy. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. It's free to subscribe to the channel, and if you click on the bell icon, YouTube will tell you when I put up another tutorial. And there is a little button down there that actually says the word join. If you want to help the channel, help with the running costs, it's a little bit like buying me a cup of coffee and a cake. There's a little join button, and you can give a little donation every month if you want, if you click on that join button and pick one of the sections that suits you, and you can cancel it any time you like. And what it does is it lets you give me a little monthly donation that helps with the running of the channel. I'm trying to get enough so that I can upgrade my old computer. I'm going to turn this so you can see it. This is it's an old, look at all my little minions, those ones have had a little bit too much to drink. This tower computer needs replacing. It's really old and it needs replacing, and that's my little screen there. And that's not eyes, by the way, that's it's a monitor, and the monitor doesn't even have speakers. So I had to get those speakers. It does look like eyes. They do change colour. There they go, they're changing colours there. You come in here in the dark and they give you a fright because you can't turn them off unless you turn the whole system off. So that's what I'm saving up for. I'm saving up for a little... So I'm saving up for an upgrade of that tower that tower computer, and get rid of those little glassy eyes over there. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.